Let's say you are a food and beverage company and you decide to monitor a pump at your Dallas site. To get started, you order the Amazon Monitron sensors and gateways on Amazon.com. Let's assume you received these devices. Next, you want to set them up in order to monitor your equipment. You go to the AWS console and search for Amazon Monitron and launch the service. You start by creating a project. A project is where you register sites and assets that you want to monitor. You enter a name for your project. Typically, you want to enter your company name here. Let's say company XYZ. Next, you want to add an administrator to this project. This could be the reliability manager at your Dallas site. Let's call her Jane Doe. You can create Jane as a user. Next, you add Jane to the project. As you saw, the project was successfully created and Jane was added as a user. Next, you invite Jane to access this project by sending her email instructions. Let's say you already did that. Once you do this, Jane can use the Monitron app to start monitoring the pump. Let's go into the app to see how she would do that. Let's assume that following the instructions in the invitation email, Jane installs the Monitron Android app and logs into it. Once inside the app, Jane can set up the Monitron sensors and gateways and start monitoring the pump. She starts off by installing a gateway. To do so, she navigates to the menu and to the gateway section and adds a gateway. While doing so, she makes sure that the Bluetooth of her phone is turned on and she presses a commissioning button on the side of the gateway. The app looks for available gateways in the vicinity. Jane selects the gateway. Now the app looks for available Wi-Fi networks at the site. Jane selects a suitable and secure wireless network at the Dallas site and onboards the gateway on that site. The installation process of the gateway is very similar to how you would install a smart home assistant such as an Echo device at home. The function of the gateway is to automatically and securely transfer the sensor data to the cloud. It does so by communicating with the sensor over Bluetooth Low Energy and with the cloud using Wi-Fi internet. A few moments later, the gateway is connected to the Monitron service in the cloud. Now that the gateway is connected, Jane can register the pump and pair sensors to it. To do so, she goes to the asset page. Here she adds a new asset. She calls this asset pump and identifies the ISO 2816 class of the asset. Now that the asset has been added, Jane can pair sensors to one or more positions on this asset. To do so, she clicks Pair Sensor and identifies a name for the position. Let's say she wants to pair the sensor to the motor of the pump. Next, Jane brings the smartphone close to the sensor. Amazon Monitron uses near-field communication technology to seamlessly register the sensor in the cloud. In a few seconds, the sensor is paired to the position and goes online. Jane can now physically mount this sensor to the motor of the pump using the suggested adhesive. Once done, the sensor starts capturing vibration and temperature data, and Monitron will start monitoring the pump. The first set of data on temperature and vibration already trickled in. As you saw, all these steps were simple and quick, and Jane was able to start monitoring her equipment in minutes. Jane did not have to write even a single line of code to start monitoring the pump. Once the sensor is installed, Amazon Monitron trains a machine learning model by baselining the vibration and temperature patterns of the equipment. It sends an alert when it detects an anomaly based on this model. These alerts are sent as push notifications and can be viewed in the bell on the top right corner. As you see, 3 alerts were received in the month of November. When an alert is received, Jane can conduct physical investigations of the equipment and fix the issue. In doing so, Jane can either click on the alert or navigate to the position under consideration to look for historical sensor measurements and draw insights. Once the issue is fixed, Jane can resolve the issue in the Monitron app by clicking on the Resolve button. Jane can also provide feedback at the same time by providing the closure codes, which are failure mode, failure cause, and the actions taken. If no issue was found in the equipment, Jane can also indicate that in the app. When Jane does that, Monitron treats it as a false alarm label for the machine learning model and retrains the model based on that. As you see, Jane was able to leverage the power of machine learning and monitor the pump. She required no machine learning knowledge or expertise and did not have to do any development work in doing so. Through this demo, we saw how you can set up and use Amazon Monitron